folks.
Hi, Kristen.
Good
Kristen.
morning.
Girl, you missed the most amazing Free Friday coaching call.
Oh man, I forgot all about that.
He was so good. You would hear that and want to door knock instantly. You'll just want to go door knocking.
It's that inspiring.
Oh, he was so good because he's so you. He's you. He doesn't like people.
Is it recorded or
Yeah, of
no?
course it's recorded. And Selena, where can Kristen find it soon?
We're gonna put it. It'll be on the YouTube. It'll also be on the Empire Builders Pro Facebook page.
Facebook page, yeah.
Okay.
So.
I'm gonna watch it.
Okay, Rochelle's coming on from New Jersey. Let's see, where is she? I just let her in. All right. Okay, so what was the lesson for chapter 9, and what was the what were we talking about in chapter 9, and what was the scroll that we talked about in chapter 9? Everybody, jump on.
I'm getting there. Nobody?
Who's a good person to email now, Selena at Workman? Who's the new helper?
Not John?
No, for my sign-ins, it would be someone for my,
Oh,
is it John?
He's helping us with ramp. Yeah.
No,
John,
I mean my personal stuff as a coach. I wonder who that would be.
put in a, don't email anybody, put in a ticket. Sarah
Okay.
will smack your hand. I'll send you the link in just a minute.
Thank you.
Rick, scroll 8 is today I will multiply my value 100-fold. And we talked about closing, being proactive in your business, branding, and social media.
Oh, nice. Right up your alley, Beth Bowles. Yeah, and I think we talked a little bit about I will multiply 100-fold at the end of last week too, because I remember reading from it.
Rick, I think that's because you asked me what the scrolls were last week and I had worked ahead. So I think I might have misled you last week because that's the one for this week.
Yeah.
My
Well,
bad.
are we in week 9 right now?
Yes.
That's what I thought. Okay.
What was this?
Getting
So
there.
you mean we were, so there was 2, or no, last week on week 8, we used week 9 scrolls, what you were saying. Okay, cool. And what was week 8's then?
Getting there.
I think I will greet this day with, no, I'm trying to remember.
Yeah, I think-
I will pray for guidance. Was
Oh,
week 8.
Yeah, pray, people, pray. Yes.
yes, pray for. All right. Okay. So Rochelle, good to have you on. You're on mute.
Hi, how are you?
Good.
Sorry about that.
That's okay. What's new and exciting? We're happy to have people coming on. It was pretty dismal there for the first 5 minutes or so, 7 minutes. So what's going on in your business? How was this week?
So things are okay. It was pretty busy, and then unfortunately I had a couple of deals come crashing down. So one really crazy one. So it's a matter of mindset. But on the flip side, he's not here right now, but I wanted to let him know that I did actually door knock a couple of weeks ago when I did an open house. So it's a roller coaster. This job has always been a roller coaster, and I think the thing that throws me for the loop is that with this job, you could do the best that you could do everything 100%, but there's never a guarantee because anything can, there's so many players. There's so many, whether the buyers don't get the mortgage or whether the seller decides to take his home off the market. There's so many factors, that are really out of your control. So So it's crazy, you know, but like I said, I'm still plugging along. I am guilty though of falling far behind. So I have to catch up.
Yeah, and one thing though that you really got to give yourself kudos for is being open, honest, and honest with yourself, and vulnerable about, you know, being that honest about where you're at. And I don't think it's I can never look at it as a good, bad, right, or wrong thing, Rochelle. It's always about whatever's working, and your consistency over time, showing up on the phone calls, on these ramp calls and stuff, will do just as much as always rushing to be completely done. If you're learning it a little bit at a time, you know, I know people who took 18 weeks to do the 12-week ramp course, but they completed it and they learned from it, and then it affected their business positively. It's designed to be done in 12 weeks for a particular reason. Viral's really big on processes and systems and, you know, moving along. But I also know, you know, agents who are full-time real estate but have so much family obligation that it's almost like they're part-time real estate, right? They don't have any other job except their life, which can be big. And I know some of that affects you also. So give yourself some kudos there, and don't be down on yourself because you've moved it along really nicely either way. So, all right.
Yeah, Rick, you know, to add to that, I just wanted to say, anytime we focus on, you know, you attract what you go towards, what you focus on. So even if we're behind, we're still focusing on the right direction. And that's huge. And I know magic begins to happen and momentum begins to happen, even just by having that focus and knowing all of these tools and what needs to be in place. It just comes, and it's really exciting to see.
Yeah, well, thank you. That means a lot. All right. So let's see. Did we find what was chapter 8's scroll?
I will pray for guidance.
Okay, I'll pray for guidance. See, I missed that one completely. And Beth, thank you for being on and for reminding me about that lesson right there. I love that. And let's see, I had something was about to come out of my mouth and I lost it, and I hate when that happens. But I think the biggest thing that we can say, because we have essentially, right, 10, 11, and 12, 3 more weeks left in the program, is results. You know, the activities beget the results. And what Stephen Ross just said on the other calls, he said, please don't be attached to the results. He said, just be attached to the constant activity of getting out there and talking to more and more people. And you know, he had those 3 intentions. And this can all be related to any part of real estate. That, you know, it's to leave people better than you found them, to plan on doing business today, and to find a way to be of service. So I like those 3 a lot. And I think a lot of coaching companies, you know, Viral and Workman always says, you know, Selena said it on a call the other day, SBO, service before opportunity, or SRO, service regardless of opportunity. Yeah. So those are things to think about. And Beth, you're a good example of that for sure. So.
Can I talk for just a minute about the review? I mean, of the videos for this week, it was obviously don't be furniture at closing, marketing yourself, and social media basics. And then you don't have to be an expert, you just have to know one. It was interesting that this came up because I was on with a client this morning, and her buyer's agent had spent all this time showing me all this amazing stuff he'd done with creating a buyer consultation and this, that, and the other. And he was like, oh, I spent hours this past week doing it. And I was like, so is that your job? Is that what you do for a living? Are you you're that marketing expert? And he was like, what do you mean? And I was like, aren't you a buyer specialist? And he's like, yeah. I said, so is it possible that you didn't need to learn to be an expert to build that on your own? We could have maybe thrown it on Fiverr or Upwork and had somebody who does that every day of their life, knock that out in, you know, an hour versus the full week that you spent doing it. And it kind of hit him for a second, because I want you guys to think about that. A lot of times agents get bogged down in doing all of these little individual things. And then all of a sudden you think you have to learn to be a Canva expert or an Adobe illustration expert. Oh, bless you.
Sorry about that.
And instead you should be leveraging yourself and realizing that that's not actually your job. I would rather that you spend the time posting it out there for someone who does that for a living to do it. Your average hourly rate should be a minimum of $300 an hour. If you're building something in Canva, that is a $15 an hour activity. Please leverage.
Yeah.
So that's, I will multiply my value 100-fold. That is relevant.
Yeah.
Don't get bogged down in creating marketing, and instead give that to someone who that is their job. Your job is to go out. Think about how many clients he could have gotten if he picked up that phone that whole week, as opposed to building out that beautiful buyer consultation. So just something to think about. Yeah, Sabrina's like, this lady's not nice.
So I like it. You're absolutely right. Sometimes we forget because we get caught up in the fear of doing what we're supposed to do.
It's also fun to do something creative every once in a while, right? But what happens is we go down this rabbit hole of, ooh, I'm going to make this prettier and prettier and prettier. And now I'm going to watch 12 YouTube videos on how to make it even prettier. And you could have been making calls and converting clients at the same time. So leverage.
She says it so nicely, but it feels still like a hammer, don't you think? That's why we call Selena the Velvet Hammer.
Yeah, a velvet hammer. Yes.
All right, don't worry, Sherry, go ahead. All
Anybody
right,
else
so
have anything good from the week?
yeah. Tell us, Kristen, are you, I know between school, you're just finishing up school. What are you guys working on? Everything good? No? Okay, can I share something funny with you guys? It was a post on Instagram, and he said, "This is not how I expected him to come back, but okay." And he showed a picture, he had a message. It said, it had the Uber logo, and it said, "Message from Christ, I have arrived." And then below it, it said, "From Uber, arriving soon, Christ is arriving soon in a Hyundai Elantra. After arriving, they'll wait 2 minutes before charging you to begin the time." I just, that hit me so funny that the Uber would make the announcement of Christ's return. Anyway. So, and then the other one, if you're up for something funny and a little dirty, is birds literally just eat, travel, and shit on things they don't like. I don't know about you, but that's the lifestyle I'm striving for. Okay. So little bits of wisdom this morning to get you going. Rochelle, don't act like you didn't think that was hilarious. So, Colin from Oklahoma, how are things going out there, and how's your progress on RAMP and using the homework assignments and the activity to create a difference in your business?
Can you guys hear me?
Yes, we can't see you, but we can hear you.
Okay, yeah. It's actually going really well. I don't have my video on right now because I'm actually trying to get ready to hurry up and leave to go look at a house.
Mm-hmm.
But I did reach all my points. So I did an event this week. It was like a community event, and I had a table, and I partnered with a lender that paid for everything. We had giveaways, and we had everyone sign in. We'll enter the raffle. So we got name, phone number, and email of 62 people of the community that I grew up in. So that was pretty cool, which helped me get a lot of my points.
Nice. That's great, dude. And Colin, remind everybody that you're what? You're like 19?
Now I'm 23 now.
Oh, wow. Ages, man.
So I think when I met you, I was 21, I
Okay.
believe.
Yeah. Yeah. Is anybody here feeling very old but me? I guess just me, probably, right?
No, I'm right with you.
I'm not going to lie. I kind of feel old right now. So
Oh, no.
Oh,
I'm going to
Colin,
slap you.
no.
Yeah. All right, so, and that's good to hear, Colin, that it's working and that you're doing the activities. And do you feel like, so Colin, the next thing we're gonna do is SLAM. And we're gonna be starting that. When are we starting that, Selena? Like October or something?
October.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So that's gonna be really good for you to move from your success in ramp into becoming a solid listing agent, like seller listing agent mastery, so. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm committing myself to do that right whenever this ends.
Yeah,
Just
okay,
doing it on my own.
okay, cool. That's awesome to hear, yeah.
It's a
Okay.
6-week program, guys. That one's a 6-week
Yeah,
program.
it's only a 6-week program, but yeah. Sabrina, were you gonna say something? Was that
Yeah,
raising?
yeah, I have a question.
Yeah.
Did you think it was pretty interesting that Stephen didn't say he did not do the community garage sales and involve himself in the school, but still yet he's successful?
Yeah.
And do you think that he would have double the success if he had done those things? Or do you think that he was focusing on who he was better, so it made him do a better job?
Well, that's a really good question. And obviously, I've only skimmed the book. It only came in yesterday, I think, or day before yesterday.
I ordered it, yeah.
But he says things in there like, this isn't about building a team. So obviously, you can take anything to the next level in business. I learned that through Gary Keller, and I learned it even more through Burl Workman, is that anything can be leveraged, as Selena was just saying, so that you're building leverage on leverage on leverage, right? If I look at my team, my sales team right now, the amount of business they're doing is actually better than we did, even in the hottest markets in 2021.
Wow.
And I'm sitting right here teaching a class on Zoom. I'm not out showing properties. I'm not doing that kind of leverage is really cool. But Steve said in it, I just wanted to sell houses and visit and be with my family.
Right.
So yeah, you can always say that you can do things to another level, but I think the main purpose of his success with his book and his success is because he didn't work nights and weekends, and he made it simple, and he stole tons of houses and made good money. And he probably had it in his mind from the day that little Thelma lady said, I see you on a stage speaking in front of hundreds of people. That was probably, they go like, oh, I'm pretty good at this. I'm going to go do it. And he said it was year 12. So that was about 2015 that he hit 100,000 homes. And he thought, gosh, like it's that realization. That's one of the things I'm always trying to remind myself and each of you, is to quit finding all the bad stuff and the things you didn't do and start paying attention to good stuff and what you did do, right? I remember saying that to Rochelle the very first week she was on the call. I was like, gosh, give yourself credit for all you did do. It was a lot.
Right.
So, yeah. So anyway, good question though. Yes. And anybody can do that. They can build. Like we haven't done team events, but events has been one of the hottest things in real estate for the last probably 7-8 years. Like teams that are doing events. Christy Buck in Texas gives out over 500 pies. 500, right? We can't even, we're only up to 60 responses on our ice cream social for this weekend, yet we feel so excited about just getting the first one under our belt. First event, right?
Can I just ask what that book was that you were talking about just now?
Who was that? So Rochelle, I do those free Friday coaching calls, and we had the author of this book come on the call, and he's amazing. Been in real estate since 2003. His name's Stephen Ross. So.
Thank you.
Yeah, really good stuff. So.
The scroll we had last week, well, I guess it's 8, where it talked about you beginning a new life. And so I kind of check it like, okay, there was something offered to the team I'm on to do. And I've really struggled with it because it's going to take a lot of time, and it's a commitment that I'm not sure I like the path it's going down.
Right.
So then this week in the chapter 9, it talks about greet to stay with the love in my heart. And I think sometimes we get so anxious, I do, that it takes my whole business to a different path. And it makes me resent the job I'm in, and to the point where I've wrestled with just quitting and going working in a grocery store. And I don't know, I said, because I love getting people into homes. And then today, that talk with Stephen, I realized I enjoy meeting people and knocking on doors, and to sit and make a 200 phone calls in 3 hours. I'm not sure I want to do that. And, you know, it's not just my job. So I don't know, this two tiny little chapters sort of take your life and make different paths, doesn't it? To me.
Yeah, very well said, Sabrina. Yeah,
A small book, and it's really kind of opened up my eyes and heart. So
yeah,
thank you for this little book.
no worries at all. I remember when I first read it in 1993, it was life-changing. And then Verl kind of reintroduced it to me in 2015, even though I already had the book on my shelf like 2 or 3 times. But then I bought the frame that had the 10 scrolls, just the first sentence of the 10 scrolls on it, and it's in my office in Fremont. So yeah, it's definitely effective. So, all right. Well, guys, the purpose of the call. Go ahead, Rochelle.
I just
unmute
wanted to
yourself.
say,
Yeah.
I wanted to say to Sabrina, I mean, I totally get it. I feel what you're saying, and I agree, because again, like I said earlier, it is a roller coaster type of job. And there are days when I feel, especially when the things start falling through, like, is God telling me that I should be doing something else altogether? Is this a sign? Because how could they all be crashing and burning? You know, so exactly what you said. And then I'll pick up, you know, the book, and it will say something like, I will persist. And I don't know if it's just us all being crazy and loving real estate so much that we just keep on going. But it does help. That book definitely, it helps you kind of get back into that mindset to kind of just try to, you know, push things forward. But I feel your pain. I know what you're saying.
It does.
Thank
Sometimes
you.
you feel like you're leaving your family behind, and you're trying to stick to the goals that your team leader wants you to do, and you're going, okay, my heart's not here right now, and it gets a little scary. And you've made these goals, but then sometimes you have to take a different path. And this morning, that call from Steve, it's like he followed his path and not the usual way that they talk about farming. And I thought, wow, but he was still successful. So it's like it gave me permission that if you put your whole heart into it, it's going to work out. You just got to believe it and stop worrying about it. And that was just
Well,
an amazing call today, Rick. Thank you. I needed that big time.
Oh, you're welcome. And Rochelle, Selena is going to post the recording of that call on the empirebuilders.pro Facebook page.
Thank you. I was just going to ask about that. Lord knows I need that. Thank you.
Well, yeah, what we're just, I think, yeah, it was so much bigger than door knocking. Did you get that, Sabrina? Like, it was so much more than about door knocking. It was just really about how we tend to make things so much more difficult than they actually are. And when he said, you know, like what Tom Costello said about, well, I always thought you had to take something of value, and he's walking around without even a business card on him and just going door to door and getting business, right? That is an indication that he, and he's an introvert. He's not like me. Like, I could start up a conversation with anybody, anytime, but he's an introvert. He was just doing his job.
His whole heart was in it.
Yeah, exactly.
And with the idea that he's there to make somebody else's day.
Yeah.
It's kind of what I got at. Yes.
Yeah.
It was amazing.
Yeah.
One of the things with his door knocking, though, to me, it feels like just door knocking is incomplete. And I know that he says, you know, that's all he did. I think he probably did more.
Yeah. Well, you know, you never got into when he got the lead, did he go back and give it to somebody, or what was happening?
Yeah, there seemed to be part of the story. And I was going to ask that, but there was only like 6 minutes left. And I was like, nah. But I wanted to know his system. And because I'm one, it's like when I leave a door, there's usually a personal note that's going to follow right behind it and following up on it. So I was just kind of curious as to what his system was, but
maybe it's in the book. Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I haven't gotten that far, but yeah.
Well, I'm on chapter 2 and I haven't got it yet, but that's okay.
Oh.
And guys, there's a post, a Facebook post. I guess I can't tell, I can't get it to you guys, but Selena, you could get it. It's from Nicole Kogan. And I don't know how to say, I thought that you could take any post and click on it and share the link, but I can't figure out how to do that.
Which one is this? The one on the NAR thing?
No, she just did this post 6 hours ago, it says. And it's a conversation between her and God, and it's so good that I want to be able to share it as a link, you know. I thought you could share Facebook posts as a link.
I will find out.
Anyway, yeah, Nicole Bostrom Kogan. Yeah. So anyway, yeah. So I think that there are bigger reasons, you know, coaching programs, seminars, Zoom calls, everything. All I think the one overriding thing is we as people get on these thinking we're going to find a pearl and it will make a difference for us. And that's the idea, is to find that. But once you find the pearl, you know, like the simplicity of what Stephen said today, there's still going to be people who take and say, oh, well, there must be something missing, or create, again, more problems out of where there's no problems. What we all need to do is just focus on getting the life we want. And it doesn't have to be like someone else did it. You know, Sabrina, you made the perfect point. He could have done events and he could have probably hired other agents, but he just kept it really simple, right? And it reminds me of a lady who I've only been to one real estate agent retirement party in my entire life, and it was in the early 90s. And this guy was everybody's kind of godfather in Coldwell Banker. I wasn't at Coldwell Banker, but he was at Coldwell Banker. And when he retired, his son's wife had already been in the business and was working with him, and then all his business became hers, and then she went on. But the one thing I looked at her name was Elaine Arndt, A-R-N-D-T, is she always had 2 full-time assistants and no one else. And as I grew in the business, I'd been in the business a lot longer than her. I always looked at her business and thought, you know, you always see pictures of her on vacation and doing this and doing that, and she never built a team. There's lots of ways to do the things that work for you. There's not just one right way, right? And in PSI, which is a personal development company that my wife and I are pretty involved with, there's an exercise called intention versus mechanism. And in that exercise, they have maybe 50 people go from this wall to the wall on the other side of the room. And nobody can go the exact same way. You're not allowed to. So obviously everybody wanted to be first. So somebody just walks across. Next person, nobody else can walk across now because someone already do that. So they swam across on carpet, they swam across, or they, you know, somersaulted across or whatever. And then you get there, 60 of you get to the other side and they go, now do it again, and you can't use anything that's already been used. And then do it again, right? What do you think the outcome of the exercise is? That there are thousands of mechanisms. All you need is one intention, just the intention to get it done. That's all. So I don't want to take away from anything we're doing, but what I want to do is add that just be clear that this is what you want to do. And when people tell me, oh, I could do a YouTube and it'll go to hundreds of people and you're out door knocking, it takes you hours to do that. I'm like, well, how many hours does it take you to do a really good YouTube? But you don't have to have that argument, right? You don't have to have it. Do what works for you and enjoy it and freaking sell a bunch of houses and decide where you want to go from there. People say, I want to have a team. Okay, a team is a result of having too many leads that you can't handle. All right. So if you're going to build a team, good. How many leads you got? 1. Okay, right now you don't need a team. You need to just go handle that 1 lead and get more. So I'm hoping that makes it simpler for everybody here. So Selena, were you going to say something? You have that?
Nope, I'm prepared when you're ready. I will read from the scroll that was technically last week.
Well, I don't have any more to say about this week's calls or anything, but I want to make sure I'm not keeping any of you from speaking your mind. Okay. All right.
All right, I will jump in then. So obviously we were kind of mixed up a little bit, but then this week's we will say is I will pray for guidance.
Okay.
And I'm not gonna read the whole chapter, although it's a very short one. I'm just gonna start with, I will pray for guidance and I will pray as a salesman in this manner. Everybody ready?
Yeah.
O creator of all things, help me. For this day I go out into the world naked and alone, and without your hand to guide me, I will wander from the path which leads to success and happiness. I ask not for gold or garments or even opportunities equal to my ability. Instead, guide me so that I may acquire ability equal to my opportunities. You have taught the lion and the eagle how to hunt and prosper with teeth and claw. Teach me how to hunt with words and prosper with love so that I may be a lion among men and an eagle in the marketplace. Help me to remain humble through obstacles and failures, yet hide not from mine eyes the prize that will come with victory. Assign me tasks to which others have failed, yet guide me to pluck the seeds of success from their failures. Confront me with fears that will temper my spirit, Sabrina, yet endow me with courage to laugh at my misgivings. Spare me sufficient days to reach my goals, yet help me live this day as though it to be my last. Guide me in my words that they may bear fruit, yet silence me from gossip that none be maligned. Discipline me in the habit of trying and trying again, yet show me the way to make use of the law of averages. Favor me with alertness to recognize opportunity, yet endow me with patience, which will concentrate my strength. Bathe me in good habits that the bad ones may drown, yet grant me compassion for weaknesses in others. Suffer me to know that all things shall pass, yet help me to count my blessings of today. Expose me to hate, so it be not a stranger, yet fill my cup with love to turn strangers into friends. But all these things be only if thy will. I am a small and a lonely grape clutching the vine, yet thou hast made me different from all others. Verily, thus there must be a special place for me. Guide me, help me, show me the way. Let me become all you planned for me when my seed was planted and selected by you to sprout in the vineyard of the world. Help this humble salesman.
Nice. I like that a lot. I've read it a few times, but it always sounds new and refreshing when I read it again. So, all right. Well, that's, does anybody have anything else for me, Selena, or anything that you want assistance with? Sherry, you doing good?
I am doing very good.
Good. I like the red today. It's very nice.
It's in honor of my nephew.
Ah.
I wear red every Friday. He was killed in Afghanistan last week, 9 years ago, last week.
Oh, okay. I was going to say it wasn't last week because I
No.
talked to you. You would have told me, but yeah. Okay.
Every Friday you'll see red.
Oh, okay, cool. Well, that's cool. And I see you have the flag back there too. So, all right. Well, you guys have a wonderful week. And then let's ramp up. Let's do what we can, right? Everybody here is EXP. So I want to remind you, Dallas is an incredible event and you will get referrals if you work it right. If it's an investment in yourself, go to Dallas if you can at all do that. And then EXPCon is in October 11th through 14th. So really want to kind of push events on you because they make a difference in your business and you're investing in yourself and your future by doing it. So, all right. Okay.
Real quick note, they are sold out at the hotel.
Yeah.
But just FYI, there's a campground, and if anybody needs it, I can get it for you. There's a campground that has the little dry camping things. Anyway, you just bring your sleeping bag and you can stay in those.
Wait,
And
are you talking about Dallas or are you talking about, yeah, you're talking about Dallas, right?
talking about Dallas.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah.
Yeah,
didn't
they
know
have,
that.
like these little, they're shelters. You just bring all of your stuff. So it's kind of like dry camping. So, but far less expensive, just FYI. They're like
Nice.
$38 a night. So
Yeah. Well, last year we were going to drive our RV because literally in Grapevine, 2 minutes from there is a great RV park.
that's it.
Oh, is it the same place?
Probably.
The Vineyard?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that place is amazing.
yeah, I got 4 or 5 nights there for, it was just a little over $300.
Sherry, that's gorgeous. Got a lake on it and everything. Like, yeah. So cool. All right.
What is it called? The Vineyard?
I think it's called the Vineyard.
Yeah, I think it is
RV
called the Vineyard.
RV and Camping Park or something. It's really
Mhm.
cool. Big, very big. Yeah. And you can, from certain parts in the park, you can see the top of the Gaylord Hotel. That's how close it is. So, yeah. Yeah. Okay, good research on your part, Sherry. All right, everybody, we'll be in touch. Have a great day.
Thank
Talk to
you,
guys
Rick.
soon. Bye. Bye, Beth. Love you.